So I'm trying to zero in on the source. It's called valueplaza.com. And you can find this story there. There's numerous other places you can find it. But the story goes like this. There was a very popular elephant by the name of Bozo in the 19th century in England, and the crowd loved to go and gather at his cage and throw peanuts to him and so forth. And suddenly one day the elephant got violent, and so the owner of the elephant wanted to kill the elephant because the elephant was a threat. And the elephant was going to be killed publicly to raise money to recoup the losses. So supposedly they're just about ready to execute Bozo the elephant, and suddenly someone appears out of the crowd and says, "No, don't do that. There's no need to do that. He's not a bad elephant." No, the owner says you've got to before he kills someone. So the man who jumps out of the crowd pleads with him, "Just give me 2 minutes in the cage with him and I'll prove to you you're wrong." "Well, you might be killed and you might sue me," the owner of the circus said. "I'm going to make you sign a release form relieving us of all responsibility." So the man agreed to do that. He signed the agreement and he went into the cage where the elephant was, where Bozo was. Now, at the sight of this stranger in the cage, the elephant threw back his trunk and let out a mighty roar, and then he bent his head towards him. The man stood still and had a faint smile on his face, and he began to talk to Bozo the elephant. Slowly the man continued to talk, the elephant raised his head, and the crowd heard a piteous cry from the elephant as his enormous head began to sway gently side to side. Smiling, the man walked confidently to the animal and began to stroke his trunk. All the aggression seemed to be drained from the elephant. Bozo wound his trunk around the man's waist, and the two of them walked slowly around the ring. After a while, the man bid farewell to the elephant and left the cage. "He'll be all right now," he said to the owner. "You see, he's an Indian elephant, and none of you spoke his native language, Hindustani. I would advise you to get someone around here who speaks his language. He's just homesick." So the little man put on his coat and left. The astonished circus manager looked down at the slip of paper that was signed, and it was signed by the famous author Rudyard Kipling. Now, I can't vouch for the validity of the story, but I will say this: it does make for a good story. And if you're using it in preaching or teaching, you can always say something like, "The story is told about," and you do not necessarily have to confirm its validity. Keep in mind that illustrations are meant to put light on the text of Holy Scripture. Now, it doesn't necessarily give any preacher a license to lie or make up things, but when you're quoting another story, it's saying that this story is around And I'm just reciting the story to you about Bozo the elephant and Rudyard Kipling. So you can use this however you like. If you need to talk about people establishing understanding relationships in the church, people simply taking the time to investigate why somebody's kind of belligerent and kind of nasty. However you want to use it is fine with me, but I just thought I would get it out into the open for you. A great story about Bozo, the elephant in 19th century England, and the famous author Rudyard Kipling. And that's the rest of the story. Thank you for watching this video. End of video.